Hi boys and girls, today we are going to be reading The Sea Lion's Friend by Ed Shankman and illustrated by Dave O'Neill. A sea lion passes his days in the waves, and he lies on the rocks and he sleeps in the caves. And so if he longs for a friend by the sea, well then, these are the places the friend has to be. But who else finds joy in the surf and the sun? Who else thinks that lying on wet rocks is fun? The real question is, after all, in the end, who wants to be a sea lion's friend? And that's what the sea lion wondered one day. He wondered when friendship would wander his way. Could a friend just appear right out of thin air? If the sea lion blinked, would a new friend be there? Did he think if he wished for a friend to come by, that the friend who he wished for would fall from the sky? Was it only pretend to believe in the end that the wishes he wished could turn into a friend? But then, just as he wondered if wishes come true, as he questioned exactly what wishes can do, as he tried to believe that a friend could appear, a seagull flew down and he landed right here. Yes, he dropped from the skies like a total surprise and was staring the sea lion right in the eyes. It was seagull and sea lion, there face to face, head to head, toe to toe, in the very same place. And though one was more fin and the other more feather, they both knew somehow they'd be perfect together. Sure, one had a snout and the other a beak, and the one liked to bark while the other would squeak, though I think some would say it was more of a shriek. But who cares what the sound is as long as you speak? Who cares if one flew while the others were grounded, or if one was thin while the other was rounded, or if one was tall and the other was small? Being different, you see, made no difference at all. They explored the marina, the buoys and boats, and they played on the docks and the posts and the floats. Their togetherness had no beginnings or ends, and they both knew how lucky they were to be friends. In the mornings they'd stumble outside in their socks and build cities of rocks that they stacked just like blocks. Then they locked all their rocks in a big blocky box with their socks and some clocks and a little stuffed fox. Now and then, just for fun, they would run a few races or slow down and quit after just a few paces. And sometimes they hid in unusual places. Of course, in some cases, they made funny faces. In the late afternoons, they sang beautiful tunes, serenading the seals while the loons played their spoons. Then at night they'd retire to sit by the fire and watch as the moon would rise higher and higher. Sometimes they would spend half a day at the beach learning all of the things that the other could teach. And on days when the sea lion wanted to cook, the gull entertained him with rhymes from his book. They were lounging around late one afternoon Friday in May, when the sun set like fireworks over the bay. And then once darkness fell, they reclined on a ridge, watching ships passing quietly under a bridge. The steamships were grand and the barges were flat. They saw light ships and flagships, what's cooler than that? The tugboats were small and the cruise ships were tall, and their friendship, of course, was the best ship of all. Yes, friendship, they found, was the best part of life, for a boy and a dog, or a husband and wife, for a rose and a bee, or a ghost and an elf. They learned that what mattered was friendship itself. And so over time, as some friends like to do, our two friends befriended some other friends too. A cat and a flea, a goose and a gander, a serious snake and a sweet salamander, a shrimp and a fish and a fly and a snail, and a duck on a dock and a whale with a pail. He had wanted one friend when he didn't have any, and now that one friendship has led him to many. It was friendship, you see, that made other things fun, like a dive through the waves or a flop in the sun. And then long after all the games were begun, it was friendship that made it okay to be done. Whatever they had, the two of them shared. Whatever one broke, the other repaired. One would be brave if the other was scared. It was easy, you see, because both of them cared. A friendship like that is a joy every day. We depend on our friends, we expect them to stay, which is why I am sure you'll agree when I say it can be very sad if a friend goes away. But that is what happened one morning, you see, when the sea lion woke up alone as can be. He knew by the feeling, he knew by the sound, that his good friend the seagull was nowhere around. He looked in the cave, and he looked on the rocks, and he looked through the box with the socks and the fox. And he looked to his left, and he looked to his right, but it seemed that the seagull was nowhere in sight. Where else could he be? Where on earth could he go? Would the seagull come back? There was no way to know. Why would a pal he had loved like a brother suddenly vanish to someplace or other? But just as he heard himself questioning why, as he wondered if friendship was passing him by, he spied something small through the side of his eye, a tiny white feather that dropped from the sky. Now, feathers don't fly by themselves, as you know. There is something above when a feather's below. So the sea lion stood and he looked to the air, and I think you can guess who he saw up there. Yes, the seagull, that's who, and he brought something too. A big shiny box wrapped in purple and blue. The sea lion pulled off all the ribbons and strings and discovered they covered a cake fit for kings. Yes, a big chocolate cake that was teeming with candles, perched on a platter with elegant handles. It was Sea Lion's birthday, he almost forgot, but lucky for him, the seagull had not. And so there they sat, sharing friendship and cake. That's the best combination a baker can make. Just two special friends in their favorite place, each with a big chocolate smile on their face. So the sea lion's wish for a friend had come true. He had found a new friendship right out of the blue. I wasn't so sure that would happen, were you? Well, it just goes to show you what wishing can do. Now some folks may think of this tale as pretend, but our heroes defend every word that was penned. And the seagull knows well that while stories must end, he will be forever the sea lion's friend. The end. I hope you enjoyed the story, boys and girls. I'll see you tomorrow.